Worst Fates in Fiction, Volume 2. Okay, yes, this is a Volume 2. I don't like doing parts, and I said in the last one that if that video got 3,000 likes, I would do a Part 2 with strictly fan suggestions, and you guys did not disappoint, and I'm gonna be real with you, this isn't meant to be clickbaity. This one has worse ones than Part 1. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you, there's quite a few that were in, that were Part 1 that I thought were, like, bad, and some of that, they are bad. But, like, these are way worse. I'm talking everything from being a walrus in the movie Tusk, from being trapped in the Black Farm from the book Black Farm, or getting transfigured by the Q from Old Tomorrows. Brother, this is absolutely horrific, okay? Listen, and understand this, okay? I want to do more, like, Volume 2s with, like, fan suggestion stuff, and you guys are such a good community that I'm able to do this. And honestly, bro, I just want to get into this video, okay? I don't know if I'll do a Volume 3. I think this will be good, but if this one gets, again, 3,000 likes, then we'll do a Volume 3. I rarely do any of those. But with all that out of the way, consider like, comment, and subscribe. We're trying to get to 500,000 subscribers before the end of the year. That is the goal. And with all that out of the way, let's get into the video. Let's go. Being a walrus in Tusk. Okay, let me give you this, bro, because this is I was going to say an underrated movie. No, this movie's just rated. Okay, understand this, bro. Imagine here, you are an absolute sleazebag of a human being, my man. Okay, listen, you cheating on your girl. You're just an absolute like bottom of the pickle jar type of human being, my man. Okay, and then you get a special job from a weird old guy, and this weird old guy had a romantic relationship with a walrus from back in the day. So he proceeds to abduct you and does surgical things upon you, and slowly but surely turning you into a walrus. He sews your legs together, he sews walrus parts onto you, and basically disfigures you for life, turning you into a walrus. Okay, you're over here, bloop, 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 and he's throwing fists at you, okay? He's throwing fists, he's coming in, he's cuddling you like back in the day, and he starts pushing you into the water where you nearly drown, because guess what? You are not a walrus. And this entire time, the girlfriend that you cheated on, she's getting demolished in the back, okay? It's enough to make a man sick. Brother, no! No! Do I need to go in depth? Need I say more? Dude, no! Dude, I don't know what it is about it. Like, this one's like, I can't believe it. This one's like so simple. It's not even like supernatural. It's just, imagine getting like surgically changed into a walrus. Like, some of y'all never thought about that until this video, and now you guys are thinking to yourself, wow, being turned into a walrus and getting cuddled and by a man who's romantically involved with walruses. What? How does the movie end? He takes out the guy. Okay? Actually, no, that's not how the movie ends. He gets transported to a zoo, and his girlfriend throws fists at him. Bro, some of these movies are so disturbing that it becomes funny, bro. Okay, imagine getting turned into a walrus. Brother, awful. Awful. I'm sorry, like, no joke. I am actually gonna put this into, awful. Does anybody, yes, I'm gonna put, and you have all the memories of being a person? Yes, awful, put it right there. Being a servitor in the Warhammer verse. Okay, let me give you some lore. Okay, so in the Warhammer verse, there was a time during the technological dark ages that kind of like climaxed that time period where humanity went to war with the thinking machines, otherwise known as AI. Interesting times we find ourselves in. Okay, but what ended up happening is that the Imperium of Man nearly lost to the thinking machines, and then they united and were able to beat them, and they kind of came in and said, hey, let's never do that again, so we're going to limit the type of AI technology that we can use. One of the limiters is that there is no, real computing power outside of few very, very regulated instances. But one of the things they used to get out around that is using human minds as a way of calculating things. What do you mean by this? Okay, so imagine this. You're in a Hive city. You are a criminal. You a criminal. And in some cases, not even a criminal. I mean like a dude that you got accused of something maybe you didn't do, okay? So they grab you. They put you in a surgical table, and they start replacing your limbs with things that are tools for the job that you're going to be doing. And these jobs can range from literally being a human supercomputer, not tasked with anything important, but literally keeping inventory, or a janitor bot. They literally replace your arms with a broom. Okay, that's really horrific, but what else happens after that? They slowly reprogram your brain and take out all the memories of your life to the point that your purpose is only the job that they choose to give you. The best way that I can describe this, bro, is imagine living a normal everyday life but getting turned into the Butterbot from Rick and Morty. What is my purpose? You pass butter. Oh my god. That's literally what that is! Okay, listen. I'm gonna be real here, though. I would rather get turned into a servitor only because my mind is already getting wiped. Like, I'm the type of person that if my consciousness is gone, like, bro, do I say this next part? Okay, understand this, bro. I don't want Alzheimer's, okay? I don't want dementia. I don't want any of that, okay? But if I do, I low-key kind of hope that I forget my YouTube channel and then I'm gonna watch it when I'm old and I'm gonna be like, who is that guy? What is gooning? Bro, I can become a member of my own audience, dude. Or I get it and I think I'm young again, so I just start the YouTube channel and I'm just an old man in my 80s talking about okay, let's try to get this to 500,000 subscribers before the release of GTA 6. Dude, low-key, not the worst fate, okay? But if my mind's already gone, then there's nothing. I used to volunteer at an old person's home. Okay, I used to volunteer, and yeah, I'm not a terrible person, but there was this old guy there, and this old guy there did some stuff. 100% he did, but he got a form of dementia where he believed he was on a cruise boat, okay? And I would be going over, just helping cleaning around, and be like, don't rock the boat! I don't want to fall in! Last time I fell into the water, they got Robert! And I'm like, who the hell's Robert? Robert died in 75! Huh? I'm sorry, old people just be dropping lore, okay? Listen, there was an African-American gentleman, a nurse, okay, just moving around helping people, okay? And I swear this old man came out here, and he was all like, ah! Ah! Shit you not, dude. I'm not even kidding. Look, they just unearthed the memory for me. But dude, he was just cool. His name was Marcus. He was a cool guy. And then I swear I went on to him. He was like, yo, bro, I'm sorry about that. He does that every single day. What? Yeah, bro, he forgets me every single day. And I'll walk into his room being like, hey, I'm not going to say, hey, Mr. Roberts, I'm going to be changing your seats today. Ah! I'm putting this in very bad. Actually, could be worse. Yes, no, I'm standing on that. It could be worse, bro. It could be worse. They're mind wiping me, though. Come on, could be worse. The human centipede. Ah! No. Do I have to? I have to explain it, bro. Listen, understand this, my man, okay? I gotta use my tism to explain this. Okay, so imagine this. Imagine this. I take 3 people. Okay? 3 people. Put them over here. Okay, we got 1. They go on their hands and knees. Get your head out of the gutter. Trust me, it ain't gonna be that type of thing. And then we take another person, we put them in the middle. Then we take their mouth, we sew it on to the to the butthole of the front person. And then you think to yourself, okay, so you just can't be the middle guy. You just can't be the middle guy. Wait, middle? No. I messed that up. You can't be the the person on the back. Nope. There's gonna be a person behind you. Okay? There's gonna be a person behind you. Another one comes in. Now you are a 3-person human centipede all sewn to each other. Brother, who writes this stuff? Okay, understand this, my man, okay? This was the writing of Human Centipede basically occurred because the director was asked, hey, yo, what would be the worst possible punishment that you can give to the most horrific people in our prison system? And he said the Human Centipede. Absolutely insane that you would just think of that, bro. But I'm not gonna make that many jokes about the Human Centipede, bro. Actually, I am. If you're on the Human Centipede, you want to be in the front. If you can't be in the front, though, you can't. Would you rather be in the middle or the back? Real question. Would you rather be in the middle or the back? I'm gonna leave that to you. Why would they do that? Actually, I'm not even gonna get into that. The worst. I'm gonna put it in the worst. I would rather be a walrus than a centipede. I'm sorry, the worst, no question. Getting transfigured by the Q from Ultimaros. That was a mouthful. Okay, Ultimaros lore. Okay. Understand this. This takes place in a distant future where the entirety of humanity becomes a spacefaring civilization. We're over here pulling up. Okay. We're going to planet to planet to planet. We're feeling good. We're rocking our Imperium of Man arc. Okay. Listen. For thou Father in heaven, we claim the stars because it is in our domain and domain alone. But then we got, like, hilariously humbled because we went across a planet that had dinosaurs, and that doesn't make any sense. Like, mathematically, that's impossible. But, and then a new character enters this anime. Okay? It's the Q. It's like a dragonfly creature. And we're over here like, wow, that's really weird. I wonder what they do. Boom! Transfigured him into a human sofa. I'm not even kidding. The Q are basically a god-level civilization, and they have achieved such a high level of genetic mastery that they can turn all biological life into different biological life. And the implication is that before us, it was the dinosaurs, and the dinosaurs used to be a super intelligent civilization, and they were a spacefaring civilization, and that's why we saw dinosaurs on other planets, and they lost to the Q millions upon millions of years before. Okay, so what happens? Does humanity win? No, humanity gets curb stomped so hilariously bad, bro. Basically getting, like, came in, drop kicked, and saying, thank you, thank you, thank you. Every single battle that we had with them. It ended off with the final battle of the Q basically being like, you know what? This planet, we're turning in to the dumpster people. And they turned an entire planet and lined the entire surface of it with people that were turned into basically human puzzle pieces. And they were in charge of eating the Q's waste for the next couple million years. Again, who writes this stuff? I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry. The Q, and the worst part is you remember the abomination. No, you remember what you were, and you are turned into something worse. Absolute best case scenario, you get turned into like a bird creature that's like really good at mating. That's a real thing. The people that surrendered also got hit by the Q, but they were turned into pets. Basically, chicken creatures that are good at spilling the Bisquick. I'm putting this in awful, top of awful. Actually, no. Bottom of awful. Why? I'm gonna be real here, though. Actually, top of awful. I'm just gonna put it. I gotta settle, bro. The Russian sleep experiment. Okay, imagine this, bro. I love that I can just talk about it. You know what, bro? I love my job. Okay, we get past the human centipede. I'm feeling pretty good, my man. Okay, so in the Russian sleep experiment, essentially what happened is that there was a ton of these Russians that were going up against the Soviet Union. Anyways. They were going up against the Soviet Union. They got imprisoned, and instead of going to the gulags, they got transported to a sleep experiment. Well, if they were able to stay up for about 31 days, they would be released and go back home. That was a lie. So they go there, they pump them up for this medication that's meant to keep them up the entire time, and around 14 days into it, they absolutely lose their minds. They go sicko mode. Absolutely craziness. They are spilling the poo-poo and the pee-pee, and they're putting it on the windows so nobody can look in, and then they proceed to start screaming, and it goes bad. The Russians come in, and they probably say something like, we must check on the prisoners. Okay, the prisoners have not spoken in 7 days. Before that, they were screaming and talking about how God has abandoned them. They were weeping and said that the Dark Ones are coming. So we'll check on it tomorrow. Yes, Ivan. And then they go in there, open up the door, and again, I'm gonna whip out the Soviet accent again. Brother, what the fuck is this? Okay, like what am I looking at here? Why is there red on the floor? Yeah, so they clogged up the drains with pieces of themselves, and then the entire bottom of the area was caked in liquid. Brother, no! Ah! So what ends up happening, and I like this implication, is the idea is, and it's left kind of vague, but the idea is that sleep is actually meant to be us, like, keeping ourselves safe from, like, some type of entity that's trying to get into our mind. And the reason that humans need sleep is because if we do not sleep, these creatures come in and they take over our mind. So by them not sleeping, they were actually able to be possessed. And that's what that final speech is. And he'd be saying that's like, there is a monster that is hiding. I was like, I am the thing that you pray against. I am this, I am that. And the implication here is either that he's completely lost his mind and he has delusions of grandeur, or there is an entity that can't get to us because we sleep. And I like that. I really do. I think that's kind of cool. Being in the sleep experiment, I'm gonna be real here, dog. In terms of everything else, I mean, it's 30 days of torment, and then I'm done, and then I'm gone. But yeah, I'm gonna put it in very bad. Actually, bro, I'm gonna put it in very bad. I'm just gonna put it right there. Being stuck in the Black Farm. Oh boy, I have taught my fan base too much. Okay, so The Black Farm is a novel written by Elias Witherow. Elias Witherow also wrote The Third Parent, or Tommy Taffy, and a whole bunch of really, really awful creepypastas. And I mean by awful, I mean like they're good for the most part. They're really good. But oh my goodness, is he one of the most disturbing authors I think I've ever seen. Okay, so in The Black Farm, essentially what happens is that people either go to heaven or they go to hell, but there's a middle place called The Black Farm. The Black Farm is not purgatory, it's a pocket dimension where all the people that do Minecraft Save Quit end up going. Yeah, that's why it's kind of difficult to talk about. Thank you, YouTube. You're a great home for me. I'm not complaining, but I'm just saying. Okay, so they go to this middle area. They go in. They basically get spoken to by a guy that kind of sounds like Matthew McConaughey in my mind. And after that, they are given a choice. Either they feed the pig or they live in the Black Farm, okay? And the Black Farm is this area that is governed by creations made by the pig in the image of God, but it's really, really bad. And there's a saying that says, being like, hey, nobody here knows what hell looks like, but rumor is it's not much worse than this. And it is. There are so many points in this novel where it is like just brutal for the sake of being brutal. And I think that's my biggest criticism of Elias, is that sometimes he gets lost in the sauce and he proceeds to go hog wild. Okay, that's a pun. That's a pun. I want you to think about what that could mean. Okay? There's a character named Muck, and Muck is awful! Muck is probably one of the worst characters I've ever seen. Okay? If I ever do a Black Farm video, I'm pushing that back, because I got a Berserk video, I got a Doomlore video. Of course, I have a lot that I gotta do. I got a full plate, but I'm feeling good, okay? But Black Farm? Ah! No! Well, how do you get out of it? Okay, so I'm just gonna say this right now. Feed the pig. Just feed the pig. Just risk it, okay? Because the Black Farm really is that much worse, okay? So what they mean by feed the pig is that you go to the pig and you jump inside of its mouth and he proceeds to eat you while you're alive. And you have to try to slide down his gullet. You have to crawl through his mouth as he chews on you. And then you are judged on whether you go to heaven. No, whether you go to hell or you get a second chance at life. Those are your only two choices. And it is implied that if you are a bad person, you just go to hell regardless. And if you are a good person, you'd get a second chance at life. And the reason that they go to the Black Farm is explained in the novel. This is kind of like a spoiler. And it's kind of like, okay. The reason that they go to the Black Farm is because God talks about, like, God's in the novel, like near the second part of the second novel, and he says something along the lines of, "You guys were given free will as the ultimate gift, and the fact that you guys would end it of your own fruition, thus committing the cardinal sin against your own gift. That being, you have free will. I'm going to use it to get, Minecraft Save Quit." That is the ultimate insult, but I don't want to judge you too harshly, so I'm going to give you to somebody that believes in nothing but free will and doing everything in the debauchery of it, and that is under the domain of the pig. It's a cool idea, but, like, you see what I'm saying here. Okay, living in the Black Farm, I'm gonna be real here, this is awful. This is actually, like, one of the worst. I'm just gonna be... Afterlife is... I'm sorry. It's the worst. You could literally get put into a human centipede in here. Oh, well, what happens if I live in the Black Farm? You basically get hunted for sport for your entire life, and then when you finally pass, you get birthed out of the sky, and you rain down from basically like a giant, like... It's so bad. It's really bad. I'm putting it in the worst. Becoming a bone hive. This is from an SCP called the Bone Hive. And essentially, this is what it is, okay? Imagine you're sleeping. You see, listen, you are sleeping amazingly. Super sleeping sound, okay? And then a bug comes up. And then he crawls up your nose, and then he lays in, and then he's lays dormant inside of you, okay? No diddy. Anyways, he's right there, and then he starts laying eggs, and eggs, and eggs, okay? He starts laying eggs, but now you're like, okay, I'm feeling a little bit under the weather. But instead of going to a doctor, you get this idea that you need to keep yourself busy in a dark room. So you go to a dark room, you turn off all the lights, and then you proceed to huddle into basically a fetal position. It's at this point the bug releases a chemical, and the chemical also releases from the offspring, and it causes your muscles to turn into bone. So you become literally like a bone hive, and you like slowly lose, like you just lose your mobility, and you become like this little ball. Okay, well, I mean, like what happens after that? You are fully conscious for this entire thing for a reason that's going to come in a second. And it's at this point, it greatly increases in speed. All of the babies come out of their cells, and they do the same thing over and over and over again until your entire your entire skin basically becomes muscle. So, okay, at that point, you're done, right? Nope! You are kept fully conscious because it uses your digestive tract as a way of creating food. It will go out, bring food in, have you digest it, and then eats it. And then it will slowly eat all of your muscles, all of your vitals, only keeping you alive the entire time to suffer through it. Okay? That is one of the most horrific, brother. Imagine getting turned into a hive where you are feeding like babies the entire time and you're slowly being consumed and kept alive. One of the worst I think I've ever heard. One of the worst I've ever heard. Being stuck in a soul gem. This one's like so horrific that it kind of like, you kind of just brush it off. Okay, so imagine this, my man. Actually, no. Actually, yeah, imagine this. You're walking around, you're like a bandit. You had a tough go with things. You're just trying to provide for the wife and kid bandits, okay? I don't know who you got with. Some of y'all are gonna get with Khaziits, you furry people out there. Okay, listen, you're walking around, you're a bandit. You robbed a horse, it's all good. And then you get a bounty hunter sent after you. He does this with his hand. Okay, what the hell does that mean? Okay, what ends up happening is that he had a 60 in conjuration, and he put soul trap on you. Boom, you get iced within the next 60 seconds, and then your soul proceeds to blast out of your body, and then you get put inside of a soul gem, okay? You get put in a soul gem. A soul gem! Okay, your soul proceeds to be trapped inside of this thing, okay? And certain soul gems are worse than others. Like, there's certain Daedric artifacts where essentially you are kind of living in, like, kind of like a little dope area. There's other places where you go to the Soul Cairn and you have a Daedric prince. There's a lot. There's a lot that you're going to have to deal with. My Elder Scrolls lore is a bit rusty, but I'm shocked I didn't bring this one up, bro. Because imagine getting iced and put into a soul gem and being used to enchant somebody's fucking boots. Pardon my French, but I'm sorry, bro, okay? Imagine being used as an enchantment for somebody's drip! I'm sorry, bro. I'm putting this in, honestly, bad. I'm going to put it in bad. There's something about my soul being used for that I'm just not a fan of. I'm just not a fan about that, bro. Being eaten by Pennywise. I didn't realize how horrific this was until I had one of my mods explain this to me. I have a Discord, by the way. It's in the link down below. Yeah, thank you, Sir Silk. Yeah, bro, I didn't realize that when Pennywise traps you within the deadlights, your soul is basically tortured and tormented forever because he's a being outside of time itself, and he proceeds to morph you and eat you the entire time, which kind of plays into an idea that I kind of had. Not an idea, but like a question that I always had, being like, why doesn't Pennywise like ever really finish his food? Like, not really, though. He kind of just grabs a few. It's not like a calorie thing, because it's not. No. He's consuming their souls over and over again within the deadlights, and that's why he can go 27 years without doing anything, because he's slowly tormenting them forever. Again, time is not a concept for him. He experienced everything all at once. That's going to be you, tormented forever within the deadlights. You'll float too, because you're just floating in this torment. I am putting this in awful. No question. Getting Springtrapped. Okay, we're diving into some FNAF lore really quick. Okay, so Five Nights at Freddy's. Okay, pizzeria. You're walking around, you're going around being like, "What's up, kid?" You're just icing kids left and right. Boom. Boom, you're picking them up, you're putting inside of these animatronics, and you're gonna blame it on them eating them. Okay, that's what you're gonna do. The Bite of 87. That's a meme, by the way. Okay, you're getting put inside over there, but that's you. You're an evil guy, okay? Your name's Afton. Your name's William Afton. Okay, and then the fuzz finally comes in to try to track you down. So you put yourself inside of a Springtrapped suit. Springtrap is you go in and all of the gears go in on you, and it's like being punctured over and over and over again, where you become one with the suit. And it is such like a hilariously horrific way to go of just getting just immediately, like, you ever see, like, heavy machinery operate? Like, heavy machinery moving around is so scary because that machine don't care what you are. You are nothing but meat to that thing. So imagine getting put in that and the machine is just breaking, like, ripping apart your flesh, your muscle, breaking your bones, putting you in this thing, and it's just forever. You put on the helmet, you're just... But because of a little something called Remnant, you basically get my FNAF lores also. I got to immerse myself in that yet again. But essentially, you're like a half-alive Remnant-fueled creature inside of the FNAF machine. But you've also lost your mind and you were already evil. I'm gonna put this in, honestly, very bad. I'm gonna put it in very bad. Something having to do with your soul kinda has to go there, though. Can we agree on that? Anything soul-related? I'm going to put it in very bad, bare minimum. Running in the Wylad. Well, it's wild. I'm calling him Wylad. Okay, my least favorite character in the entirety of Berserk. I do mean that, by the way. Y'all hate on Pip? Brother, I'm sorry. Wylad is the worst, okay? Wylad, his introduction is literally him clapping some cheeks of some very young-looking people. Okay, and then you're like, okay, what the heck am I reading? And then he proceeds to murk a few people, and then guess what? He gets recruited by King Diddy over here that's trying to get with his daughter, and then you get sent after the Band of the Hawk. No, that he gets sent after the Band of the Hawk. You're a little farm family, just minding your own business, absolutely not doing anything, and then Wylad shows up. Murks you, murks your son, takes advantage of your wife and daughter. No! Brother! I'm sorry, like, that's my only real critique of Berserk is that, listen, I'll defend the Eclipse, okay? I'll defend the Eclipse in a way of that narratively you didn't need something very brutal. But, like, brother, we didn't need Wylad, though. We didn't need him. You want to know how I know we didn't need him? When they adapted Golden Age into an anime, they didn't have him in it. They just replaced him with a no-name character. Why? We didn't really need him. I'm putting Running in the Wylad as, honestly, bro, top of very bad. Why? At least you get iced by the end of it, though. Getting infected by the Black Grail. Trench Crusade. Y'all don't know this one, but let me tell you. So the Black Grail is essentially the zombie virus of the Trench Crusade universe. Think of it as like getting Nurgle-fied by the, getting Nurgled in the Warhammerverse. Okay, maybe we'll cover like Nurgle infections in a volume 3 if we ever get one. 3K likes, by the way. Okay, the Black Grail is essentially the magnum opus by the demonic lord Beelzebub, the demon lord of plague, and he made it as a mockery of human creation. Okay, whereas humanity, we create human beings through love. The Black Grail is meant to be a mockery of that. So the Black Grail infects pregnant women. Pregnant women get infected with the Black Grail and they give birth. But they give birth to a basically zombie, volatile flesh creature, okay? Okay, that's kind of crazy. No. So the monster rips through the woman's stomach and then comes out and then grows into like a demon creature. And then they proceed to kidnap basically their mother, and they protect her, and they keep her alive as essentially a birthing oven. She proceeds to continuously give birth over and over and over again until she becomes a living hive that is fully conscious of everything. And you have an army of Black Grail monster creatures. that turn into like mosquito, like these mosquito demons. It's so dark, and the art is so disturbing because this is how it happens over and over again, and they are super territorial and defensive of their mother, and it's meant to be a mockery of like a child's love of their mom and their mother's love for their children. That's why he made it that way. And I'm sorry, bro. This is such an overly thought out zombie type of thing to the point that this is probably one of the most terrifying I've ever seen. Like, brother, being kept alive over and over again to give birth to these demonic children, and then they just come out of your stomach and rip through you, and you heal over and over again, and the only way to get get out of it is to get burned with holy fire. One of the worst I've ever heard. Put it there now. And there you go. Those are some of the worst fates in fiction, Volume 2. If you enjoyed this video and you want a Volume 3 or another video, please leave it in the comment section down below. Try to get 3K likes on this. If you enjoy this video, please consider like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the bell icon to stay notified. We're trying to get to 500,000 subscribers before the end of the year. That is the goal, and with all of that out of the way, actually, before we do that, a few announcements. We started a short form and live stream channel called Ethan on Live. Link is going to be in the description down below. I got my start on short form stuff on TikTok. I wanted to start moving it over here, but I didn't want to put it on this channel. I did live streams. People want me to do more live streams. I'm going to move that over to an Ethan on Live channel and just keep this as the long form stuff. And if you want to support that with those own uploads that are going to be over there, like gaming walkthroughs, Q&As, all that good stuff, that's going to be on Ethan on Live in the description down below. Thank you, everybody who supported that so far. It means the absolute most to me. And I will see you all in the next one. Adios, guys.